Your attention, please. You're an important part of any disaster response. You may find the following information critical in the event of an emergency. The future depends on protecting those among us who are vulnerable. Their best hope is your training and skill as supporting public health responders. Terrorism, especially bioterrorism, has added new and alarming dimensions to our emergency preparedness needs. Potential targets identified within or close to Alameda County include the Bay Bridge, the San Mateo Hayward Bridge, the Oakland Coliseum Complex, Lawrence Livermore National Labs, BART tracks and stations, the Oakland International Airport, and the Port of Oakland. In addition, the FBI warns that any public buildings, shopping malls, schools, utilities, refineries, or chemical and nuclear research facilities may also be targets. The guidelines for your role in a response may vary depending on the exact nature of an event and its location. The mission of the Alameda County Public Health Department is to prepare the community to respond in a safe and timely manner in a bioterrorism threat, disaster, or other public health emergency. In other words, our role is to protect and maintain the public's health. This includes planning for distribution and dispensing of medical countermeasures from the Strategic National Stockpile. The Strategic National Stockpile is the nation's largest supply of potentially life-saving pharmaceuticals and medical supplies for use in a public health emergency severe enough to cause local supplies to run out. Since 2002, the Alameda County Public Health Department has been working with city, county, and other stakeholders on plans to respond as quickly as possible to preserve the health and prevent the spread of disease in the case of bioterrorism attack or other such public health emergencies. These plans are referred to as medical countermeasures, or MCMs. This video provides a high-level overview of MCM response. MCMs are life-saving medicines and medical supplies that can be used to mitigate threats. Activation of the MCM plan assumes that there is a suspected or actual release of biological, radiological, or chemical agents, a natural or man-made disaster, a disease outbreak, or other incidents requiring MCMs. The major functions to be carried out in a public health disaster requiring requests of MCMs include requesting MCM assets from the Strategic National Stockpile, or SNS, receipt, staging, and storing of assets, known as RSS, managing inventory, distribution, dispensing, public information, strategic and tactical communications, security, and of course, training, exercises, and evaluation. Requesting MCM assets will start at a local level with an emergency proclamation when officials identify a potential or actual problem that they believe will threaten the health of their community. The county health officer will activate the MOAC program, which stands for Medical Health Operational Area Coordination. The MOAC program staff will then follow the resource request process outlined by the California Public Health and Medical Emergency Operations Manual to request assets through the governor from the Office of Assistant Secretary for Preparedness and Response, or ASPR. Once ASPR approves, two different types of shipments will ensue. 1. 12-hour push packages. SNS has multiple 12-hour push packages located around the country to facilitate meeting this timeline. 2. Managed inventory, sometimes abbreviated as MI. The majority of SNS assets are kept as managed inventory, which is held in storage sites managed by others. Upon receipt from ASPR, the state will immediately begin its RSS operations to deliver to the impacted operational areas those medications, medical supplies, and equipment that have been ordered through the request process described above. The state will deliver a portion of the SNS medical countermeasures by truck to the county's RDS site. If heavy traffic or road closures make delivery by truck difficult, the primary site has a suitable helicopter landing area. Alameda County's primary RDS site is at the Santa Rita Jail in Dublin. The primary site is secured and has local law enforcement on a continuous basis. The Sheriff's Office, or ACSO, will provide force protection for SNS operations at the primary warehouse level. The General Services Agency, or GSA, will assign employees through the logistics branch of the Emergency Operations Center, EOC, to the primary county RDS site to staff the warehouse on a full-time basis. Additional personnel assisting with RDS operations would undergo credentialing in an off-site location before being permitted into the RDS site. Once the RDS is activated and staff are notified to report to the RDS, team leads will be identified, given their job action sheets, and provided just-in-time training. Distribution of MCMs involves federal, state, and local partners. Assets will be received at secure warehouses, inspected and inventoried, and distributed to points of dispensing known as pods.
Alameda County will notify partners when the SNS has been requested and when to expect receipt so they may begin planning to activate their pod.
Dispensing is the most complex function in MCM response, as it requires considerations for how to provide MCM safely and efficiently to everyone in the county. Dispensing plans cover wide-ranging possibilities of MCMs and administration methods, such as oral medications or vaccinations. The Alameda County Public Health Department has worked with the incorporated cities within the county, treatment centers, hospitals, clinics, long-term care facilities, and large private organizations to develop a comprehensive pod network, including closed and open pods. Given the size and population of Alameda County, the Public Health Department has coordinated with cities to activate and manage facilities, volunteers, and provide oversight of non-medical functions like crowd control at the pods. During the initial stages of the incident, the Public Health Department will work with the cities and other pod partners to determine what pods will be activated and to provide security by local law enforcement. The Alameda County Pod Field Operations Guide, often referred to as the FOG or FOG, is designed to be used in a public health emergency where mass dispensing of vaccine or prophylactic medication is deemed necessary. This guide was extensively tested during Influenza A H1N1 in 2009. The Public Health Department is responsible for contacting the County Office of Emergency Services, or OES. The County OES will then contact city administrators to notify them of a public health emergency within their jurisdiction and the need to open their pods. Cities are responsible for notifying local staff and volunteers, including disaster service workers, Citizens Emergency Response Teams, known as CERTs, Medical Reserve Corps, known as MRCs, and other trained personnel. Each city will have its own procedure for notifying staff and volunteers through either an automated system or a phone tree. The Alameda County Health Officer, or a qualified designee, will work collaboratively with the Public Information Officers, known as PIOs, and the County Joint Information Center, or JIC. Together, they will coordinate health advisories and public information announcements in multiple languages. The Alameda County Sheriff's Department has the primary responsibility for the security of SNS assets once they are signed off to the county. The Sheriff's Department will develop a distribution security plan and will provide security for the delivery of SNS assets to pod sites and treatment centers. The Alameda County Sheriff's Department may request mutual aid as needed from local police departments or from the region or state. Safety and security of pod sites is critical for pod operations. Strategies for securing the pod site, along with access from the roads, will be of utmost importance and will be the responsibility of the city or pod entity, such as a university or business, in which the pod is located. Local and state health agencies provide various levels of training annually. Training will consist of seminars, workshops, webinars, website and satellite courses, drills, and exercises involving tabletop, functional, and full-scale exercises to test, document, and improve specific components of this plan. OES has developed a comprehensive training plan which includes Alameda County public health trainings and exercises. The established training schedule is included in the county's annual training and exercise plan. Training plans are also developed based on areas identified in exercises and learned from real-world incident after-action reports. Alameda County has developed a robust video training series that is available on YouTube at your convenience or for emergency needs. You can review a pod training overview or learn leadership and command, as well as the ICS functions of operations, planning, logistics, and finance and administration. Additional videos address vaccination pod training, detailing operations and logistics. For medical countermeasure distribution, the CDC recommends a 60-day course of prophylactic antibiotic therapy following exposure to anthrax. The distribution of the required antibiotics takes place in two distinct phases. The first phase involves the rapid dispensing of a 10-day supply of antibiotics to those individuals who were potentially exposed to anthrax. And a second phase, which is a targeted distribution providing the remaining 50-day supply to those who were truly exposed. Once epidemiological data is available, officials may be able to pinpoint the population that was most likely affected by the release and scale back dispensing operations utilizing fewer dispensing sites to target those who will need to continue prophylaxis for the additional 50 days. Depending on the nature of the incident, your dispensing campaign could last for months. With the incorporation of AVA and an enhanced understanding of the biological agent Bacillus anthracis, there has been a renewed focus on distribution and dispensing operations during a sustained anthrax response to ensure all forms of protection are provided and there is no lapse in post-exposure prophylaxis, or PEP, between the initial and secondary phases. MCM-related response efforts would include support of treatment, epidemiology, and completion and compliance of the recommended prophylactic course. Alameda County's MCM campaign is flexible to meet the needs of these multiple stages of dispensing. This diagram shows how Alameda County plans to implement an extended MCM campaign to include actions for the first 48 hours, rapidly dispensing the 10-day emergency regimen, followed by the period for dispensing the remaining 50-day regimen and the considerations for the administration of AVA vaccines throughout. Advanced training for station leaders, command staff, and individual ICS sections is available in other modules. Your participation and continued training for public health disasters helps ensure that we're as ready as we can be when our citizens and our communities need us. This pod video series was brought to you by the Alameda County Public Health Department, Office of Public Health Emergency Preparedness, in collaboration with Applied Creative Training.